object-oriented analysis, and let's bring in the essence of what is wiring in the Spring framework. And then let's take this. Let's see what happens is that, you know, a lot of information is available on internet right now, right? And we keep on consuming internet. But mind is not something which is junk, right? You just can't keep on feeding to the mind whatever you like and expect that mind is going to retain it, right? And then you feel you are learned it. This is the basic problem with learning. I've seen that. So whatever you do, right, it is very much necessary that you have to be able to connect to a real world. So let's try to connect with the real world. I'm going to show you some video of a real world first, and then later come back to a diagram, and let's do some analysis on the diagram, and then let's take from the analysis, object-oriented analysis, to Java objects, and from Java objects, let's make them as beans, and then start using inside the framework, and I'll show you the essence of wiring, bean wiring. All this will not make sense to you until I show you a video. Okay, let's go here and, you know, let's see if we have any video to talk about this. Let's see a video for two-way switch. Okay, so in this video, we are going to talk about first watching a video, and then, you know, after that we're going to talk about the object-oriented analysis. Fine. So here we come back again. What I'm going to do is that
फ्रेंड्स हम एक बल्ब को दो जगह से ऑन ऑफ कर सकते हैं.
I'm going to run this video and you know, also add my comments as we, you know, talk about the two-way switch.
जो वायरिंग है इसमें हम दो टू-वे स्विच में तीन टर्मिनल रहते हैं फ्रेंड्स. ये दो हमारे पास टू-वे स्विच हैं और एक बल्ब होल्डर में दो.
Yeah. So what is the exercise, or what is the video I'm showing? Let me explain you what is the problem first, what problem we are going to resolve, and how we are going to resolve. We are not going to talk anything about coding right now. We are going to talk about a real world problem. What is the real world problem? We have a staircase here. You can see the diagram. What we are trying to do is, for now, don't see any of these things. Later I'm going to visit. So you have, say, you know, a ground floor, and then you have a first floor. Okay. At night, see, when you come to your house, you need to go up, right? And you need light when you go. So what we are going to do is that we are going to have a light here, somewhere here, right? So that when you switch this on, the light becomes on. Then you can climb over the steps. And as soon as you climb over the steps, we will off the switch. So far, so good. You understood the problem of what we are having. Let's see. So let's select. Okay, now I'm going to repeat what I said once again. So team, I'm just going to repeat whatever I said, that we're going to talk about a real world problem, to connect our Java object oriented analysis. And we're going to talk about a two-way switch. And the two-way switch is here in this diagram. Let's see about the two-way switch. Okay, this is our two-way switch. Now, in this two-way switch, problem, what we're going to do is that when you come inside in the night, you need a light, right? So from this button, you will make it on. And as soon as you reach your room, you don't want to keep the light on, correct? You want to switch it off. So you'll have a switch here to switch it off. And let's picturize this problem and see if you want to do object-oriented analysis, the first and foremost thing is that we should be able to recognize what are the objects here which connect to the problem. That is very important, right? There are several objects you see, but what are the objects which connect to the problem or task we have to do? So the task which we have to do is making the bulb on from ground floor. When you climb over the steps, making the bulb off from the top floor. So you have two switchboards. One is ground floor switchboard, another is top floor switchboard. Let's see in the video how do they achieve this. So let's come back to this.
और एक फेज के लिए और एक फ्रेंड्स बल्ब का इस्तेमाल करेंगे. तो चलिए फ्रेंड्स इसकी हम वायरिंग कर लेते हैं.
So you're taking two bulbs here, right? Sorry, you're taking two switches and he's going to show you the wiring. So I think mostly the right side one is, the ground floor switch and the left side one is top floor switch. Let's see.
पहले फ्रेंड्स हम एक वायर लेंगे. वायर के एक एंड को हम टू वे स्विच के नीचे वाले टर्मिनल में कनेक्ट कर लेंगे. ये यहाँ, इसको यहाँ कनेक्ट कर देंगे.
So what is this? This is wiring, right?
और इस वायर के दूसरे एंड को हम दूसरे टू वे स्विच के नीचे वाले टर्मिनल में ही कनेक्ट करेंगे.
So there is one wiring connection going on. The bottom terminal of two switches is getting connected with the wire. Okay.
ये जो ब्लू कलर की वायर हमने इसमें लगाई है फ्रेंड्स, दोनों टू वे स्विच के नीचे वाले टर्मिनल में, ये हमने न्यूट्रल के लिए लगाई है. इसके बाद फ्रेंड्स हम रेड कलर की वायर लेंगे. रेड कलर की वायर का एक एंड हम दूसरे टू वे स्विच के ऊपर वाले टर्मिनल में कनेक्ट कर देंगे.
So what are we doing here is that the bottom part of the switch, bottom terminal of the switch is connected with a blue wire, and the top one with the red wire. Red wire is fes and blue wire is neutral.
और इस वायर का दूसरे एंड को हम ये जो फर्स्ट वाला 2 स्विच है इसके ऊपर वाले टर्मिनल में कनेक्ट कर लेंगे।
Okay, so the wire connection is done.
ये हमने रेड कलर की जो वायर है ये फेज के लिए इसमें कनेक्ट की है। इसके बाद फ्रेंड्स हम बल्ब होल्डर लेंगे।
Now he's going to take a holder, and then what he is going to do is that he's going to do the wiring from the holder, what you see, right, to switch. So you know that the holder is the one which is connects the bulb to electric supply, right? So holder is what exactly holder in a real world, right? It is just like adapter. What exactly holder does is that it makes the electric current reach the bulb, and inside the bulb the electric energy is converted to heat energy because the filament starts burning. So is a holder is nothing but a connector. No, I'm sorry, you can't say that as an adapter, but you are now connecting this holder to the switches, and what you will do is that the holder is just like a handler here in this case. It is which is the holder to which we will connect the bulb, right? And what we are doing now is the holder will be connected to the face of the holder will be connected in the middle, and the neutral will be connected to the blue wire on the ground floor switch. So the red wire, which is phase, goes to the left side switch, which is the top floor switch, and the neutral of the holder will go to the ground floor switch. So far so good, right? Now the next thing what we are going to do is that we are going to connect the power to your right side switch, that is phase and neutral of the power. So let's see, that's what the connection which is going on here now. So neutral will go to neutral of your power supply. Phase wire, red wire, will go to the face of your power supply. So after doing this connection, all this connection which you're doing, which means we are doing a manual wiring, right? What exactly the switch does? What is the job of the switch? The job of switch is to become on or off, right? That's what you see. But in reality, the switches, what they are doing, they are either completing the circuit so that power reaches the bulb, or they are uncompleting or disconnecting the circuit so that power does not reach the bulb. So the bulb is dependent on switches to get power, right? Now observe this, that as soon as the bulb is connected to the holder, and when you make the switch on, the right side switch on, the bulb becomes on. That is why I'm coming from ground floor, so that I have to make the right side switch on, right? So I will make it on, and after that, when I make the left side switch on, the bulb will become off, right? So let's see that. What we are going to do now is that make it on, right? The bulb. So let's make it on, and then see. Yes, it's become on. Now next thing is that we'll make this off. So this is what we wanted to watch, right? So let's stop here. Now let's come back to our diagram. This is our two-way switch, correct? Now, what we observed in that video is that we completed this wiring. That is, we did a POC. Let's call this as a POC. Because in actual world, it is not enough if you do all this. You have to do this wiring also, from here to here, all those stuff. But we understood this concept now. Now let's go further, a little further on this, and then analyze what's going on. So what we did here, we did an analysis where we said that we will solve this task by connecting two switches, a ground floor switch or ground floor board. Let's call it ground floor switch and top floor switch. And then we did the wiring. We call it manual wiring. We make ground floor switch on. Then the bulb glows. We go on the top and we go to top floor switch. We make it on. This becomes off. Now we're going to draw out the objects which are connected to the problem. So what we have here is a ground floor switch. We have top floor switch. We have bulb. We have power. Okay. Now observe this, that the bulb is dependent on ground floor switch for power to make it on. The bulb is also dependent, the bulb is dependent on ground floor switch to get power to make it on. The bulb is also dependent on top floor switch to make the power off. We got dependency, right? Let's draw out the objects. The objects are bulb, top floor switch, ground floor switch, and power. We need one more object here, that is event object. What happens is, as soon as you make your bulb on or off through switches, when you make a switch on or off, it becomes an event. And let's say that when an event happens, the status of the switches change, right? The status becomes on from off. So let's talk about only status from on to off. Let's forget from on to off. Let's analyze only from off to on. So let's say if I make the ground floor switch on, event occurs, and what happens in the event, it keeps the status of this ground floor switch as on. Bulb is also attached to event object. The moment it observes that the ground floor switch status is on, it will call a method. The method name is bulb will glow. And as soon as your top floor switch becomes on, the event senses this and then makes the status on for top floor switch. As soon as bulb sees that the event for top floor switch is off, it will stop glowing. So this is about, we have expressed dependencies and we did the wiring of dependencies, right? So far so good. Now in the next episode, let's get a more little practical on how do we do the manual wiring using XML and XSD of Spring Framework. And then, when we do a manual wiring later on, we'll try to use a SpringBoot for auto wiring. But for now, this should be enough for us to, getting started, which we'll discuss in the next episode. If you like this, express your likes from the bottom of this video. And if you want to subscribe, there is a subscribe button also. This is going to motivate me to work on the next episode. Thank you.